And this is the Google Map picture showing the exact location of my father's childhood home. You go south from Castleshane up there, follow the blue line down through Moys ETRA, go to Moys, come to Moys ETRA, and the ETRA means a lower pasture and the ETRA I think is upper pasture, and then you double back towards the edge of Moys ETRA and you follow the long lane up and you find my father's old homestead. There you are now, and we were there a few days ago. Down in County Monaghan. And we have reached Moys ETRA, Castleshane, and this is the road into the farm where my father was born in 1905, and this is like a sentimental journey for me. My father was born of Andrew McClean, who lived here along with so many older brothers and sisters of my father, and Andrew McClean was married twice. He was married to Anne Whitecroft, and she gave him most of his children. I think there was 11 of them. They were Reformed Presbyterian, and then my father remarried. Anne Whitecroft must have died, and my father remarried, and he remarried a lady called Mary Carson, or Minnie Carson. Don't know when he remarried, but they lived a happy enough life, a farming life, in this house at Moys ETRA, Castleshane, Clontibret. My father would have cycled. He took up a job of teaching primary school in Banbridge, and he had trained at Sonmillis College, where I trained all those years later, and my sister May trained all those years later. And my father, in his early 20s or 19 or whatever age he started to teach in Banbridge, my mother, or my grandmother, Minnie Carson, was taken ill, I believe, with cancer, and my father cycled the distance every weekend to visit her and tend to her, sit up with her every weekend. And that's the distance from Banbridge here, because I've measured it on the map, of 45 miles, and this was a heavy old bicycle that he used, none of the modern racers in those days, and he would have been soaked many occasions arriving here. My grandmother died on my father's 21st birthday, which was the 3rd of May, and she died in 1926. And he must have obviously been devastated. And this is my first time to this family setting, family home of my father, his birthplace. And it's a very, very strange feeling being here, I can tell you. Because my father died whenever I was 10 and a half, and I just didn't know him. I'm filling in some of the missing jigsaw pieces by coming here. I would imagine that the windows are original, and that was the old, I would imagine too, that's the old covering that they placed over the brickwork there. And this would have been seen as a solid enough house in those days, substantial farmhouse, not some sort of rickety hovel, and I would imagine the place looked really well, but it certainly doesn't today. Times have changed. Wouldn't you like to go back in time to see what things were like? I certainly would. Okay. From Moys, ETRA, Castleshane.